Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth, this is Frizzy Lizzie Stitches, and this is Flosstube number 52. So, I got my hair cut. I'll get that out of the way. I got my hair cut, I think like the week after I posted my last video. I obviously got bangs, if you can't tell. A lot of people ask me when I get my hair cut if I got it colored like darker, and that's usually the answer is no. Actually, I've never got my hair colored darker, but I think it's just because like moving my hair around different, like I feel like people think that there's also color involved, but I did not change the color of my hair. I just got bangs. So anyway, I've had bangs before, and these are going a lot better for me this time, and I plan to keep them for longer than 6 months, so we'll see. It is interesting to go back to my first floss tube because that's actually when I started growing out my bangs that I had the second time. So we're basically made full circle. So anyway, enough about my hair. Today is November the 10th, 2023, and it's been like 3 weeks since my last video, and I think that's probably going to be my new normal schedule, is every 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks, just because the way my work schedule is, I really don't get to stitch during the work week, which for me is Monday through Thursday, and I get a lot of stitchy stuff and crafting things done on the weekends. So if I film every 2 weeks, then it kind of is only like 1 weekend worth of stuff to show you guys, because filming and editing a video does take a big chunk of time that would obviously take away from stitching. So anyway, my new plan is going to be every 3 weeks because I think that will just work better as far as like content and having time to stitch on things and all that kind of stuff. Also, like last weekend would have been the 2 week mark, and it really just felt like I had just finished a previous video, so it kind of gives me a little bit of a breather in between episodes as well. So that is the new plan. I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who watched my last video and left me a sweet comment about congratulating me and Bobby on our wedding. It was a beautiful day, as I talked about, and I feel my cup is very full from all your sweet comments. Makes me very happy, and I'm glad that you enjoyed getting a little peek into our special day. So yeah. But this video is going to be so exciting because I have 2 massive finishes. So I'm super proud about that. I have been teasing one of them. No, they're kind of both been teased on my Instagram, but I haven't fully revealed either one of them yet. So yeah, I'm so excited. And then let's see, I have a little bit of haul, which is just my monthly club stuff. And then I'm going to share with you some plans, and then we'll just get chatty and kind of talk about some things I've been watching and reading, and then just kind of general what I've been up to kind of stuff, and then we'll wrap it up. So yeah, anyway, let's just get right into my awesome finishes. Okay. Oh, I just knocked the camera. So my very first finish to show you guys is actually my Alice in Wonderland from Satsuma Street. I'm not going to show you what it looked like last time just because it's all done now. But I will, before I show you, mention that this was like probably like the 2nd or 3rd project that I ever started, and back in like 2021, and so for it to be finished now, it feels like a huge sigh of relief. And it also is really cool because it was a really big project that I didn't really realize how big it was when I started it. And if you go back to my very first floss tube, it actually is in the thumbnail of my very first floss tube video, so that's cute. Anyway, here's what she looks like. So like I said, this is Alice in Wonderland by Satsuma Street. I stitched this with all the called for materials, DMC and 28 count Zweigart linen in the color Ice Blue, which was actually kind of an accident. I just went to this local cross stitch store in Alabama and tried to find a light blue fabric, and I just so happened to pick what was called for without really knowing anything about fancy fabrics and things like that. So anyway, I started this February the 2nd, 2021. And I have a very vivid memory of starting this project because I was living in Huntsville at the time, and we were trying to watch the Super Bowl, and Bobby and I neither one of us were paying for live TV, so I got like a trial of like Paramount Plus, and except for I don't think it was called Paramount Plus at the time, and anyway, so that we could watch the Super Bowl, and literally right at kickoff, the whole site just crashed. And so I was like panicking trying to get it back on because I just wanted us to be able to watch it. And I started this project that day after things finally calmed down and I kind of like got in the groove of everything. But yeah, anyway, just like a weird little memory, I guess. But yeah, so this one's been through a lot because, you know, I started it so long ago. I finished it on November the 4th, 2023. And all I had left at the end was to fill in these triangle pieces. I think I had already had this one done, so I just had to fill in these 3. But yeah, I had this on my WhipGo board this year 4 times, so I could kind of strategically plan out getting this finished this year, and here we are, all done. So yeah, I think my favorite block to look at is probably the Queen of Hearts. I think the one that I was least, the one with the coolest backstitch is probably the Tea Party, because I really like his hat, and I really like how the rabbit's face or the hare's face turned out. But this one was actually my least favorite to stitch, just because all of these colors in the table with all the teapots and stuff was really annoying to have to like change the floss colors all the time. But it looks really good. And there's actually a mistake in this one. We're not going to talk about it. You can barely even figure out what it is. Yeah, I stitched these 2 blocks this year, and then did most of the border in those triangle pieces. So yeah, I have no plans to fully finish this anytime soon. I think the model photo for this it looks like it's like stretched on a canvas or something, or like looks similar to that. So I might do that, but not, like I said, not anytime soon, mainly because I don't really have a idea for where I want to hang this. So might as well just keep it rolled up in my project roll until I'm ready for it. So. Oh, and I forgot to say too, this is the first time that I've gotten to stitch my new initials onto something. So I snuck my initials in right here. So it says EB. My initials were EO, and now they're EB. And then I put 2023 right there. So yeah. Oh, it looks so good. I love it. Okay, so my next super big finish, this is not going to happen probably ever again, is Haunted Library by Lola cross stitch. I can't really write, I think I showed it in my last video because I mentioned I wanted to get it finished. I did not finish it before Halloween, like I talked about, but I did finish it just the other day. So yeah, anyway, here's what it looks like. So this is stitched on 36 count linen from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers in the color Queen Crepe Myrtle, and that was a fabric of the month last year, probably like April or something like that. And yeah, I stitched this with all the called for DMC and 2/2, and I left all the back stitch for the end, which I guess I don't regret. It was fine. It was kind of annoying because I definitely had to like make a checklist and check off each section as I backstitched it, because some of the backstitch is not very obvious, because there's like some black on the stairs to kind of just enhance the way the steps look. And then there's some back stitch like at the bottom of the bookcase and underneath each of the books, just to kind of help add some, I guess, like structure to the piece. Obviously, like these spider webs and the legs on the spider, those are more obvious. But the rest of them, I really had to make sure that I like checked them all off, that I got them all. Because I definitely could have missed one if I wasn't paying attention. So yeah. I also had this on my Whip Go board, I think like 5 times to push this to a finish this year. Obviously I was successful. So I had like kind of the different chapters on different blocks, and then the last block was to like finish the staircase. So technically I completed 2 Whip Go goals by finishing this in the past 3 weeks, because I finished the chapter 10, She Created a Monster Who Created a Man. That was 1 block, and then the other block was to finish the staircase, which mainly was like above this cat, all under the bookcase, and then all down to like the top of his head, I think. So yeah. I just really love how she is able to like get such detail in such a tiny little space. Like Mary Shelley's face, like there's not a lot of stitches there. Like her face is probably like 5 stitches wide by like maybe like 9 stitches tall, but like she's got some shading on there, and I just think that's so incredible. And then I also love here how like you can see the candle light through this ghost. Just tiny details like this make this piece so cool. And I also put my initials on this one down here under her dress. I felt like that was the least kind of intrusive place to put it. So yeah. I definitely will frame this. I haven't measured it to see if it will fit in a standard frame. I feel like I've seen people frame it in a standard frame, but I think it's a very tight fit up and down this way. So I might just put this away and kind of save up to get a custom frame, just so that more of this fabric can show on the sides, because I really love this fabric and I think this chart looks really good on it. So, but yeah. Both of these projects had a ton of DMC, so I was very excited to put all that DMC away in my collection and it not be hoarded in a project bag anymore. Okay, so those are my 2 ginormous finishes. I think both of them, Alice probably had less than 1,000 stitches to be finished, and then Haunted Library I think had about 1,800 stitches to get to a finish. So I definitely cranked it out the past 3 weeks. Really, mostly in the past week and a half, I would say that I did most of that work. Last weekend was like a super stitchy weekend. I finished Alice last Saturday, and then I was almost done with Haunted Library on Sunday, but I had to take a couple of days after work to finish it because there were just like a little bit too many stitches for what I was able to do in a day. So, but yeah, I'm so excited to have those off my list. I do have another project that I'm going to show you that I am hoping to push to a finish next because it's also really close. And then, yeah. So my goal, like I talked about earlier, that I decided not to pursue anymore, was to get down to 5 whips, but getting 2 off my list in 1 weekend is like pretty satisfying. So alright, so this one's not really a active whip, but I was going to show it anyway because it came in the mail yesterday, and this is in regards to the round robin that I'm doing with my friends. In the last video I showed you Cam's project, and I haven't worked on Cam's yet, but Maddie already finished Brijin's project and mailed it to me. So I have Cam and Brijin's projects. So I figured I would show you Brijin's since I have it, even though I haven't started working on it yet. But the pattern that we're all stitching together is Quaker Gardens by Hello from Liz Mathews. And everybody picked a different color scheme. So this is Brijin's project. It looks so beautiful. And it's so cool and satisfying to see that first row fully filled out. So this flower right here, actually I have this board and I don't even freaking use it consistently. Okay, that's a little better. So this flower right here that is this flower that I will be stitching on Cam's project. And then I think the flower that I'm stitching for Brijin will be over here. So yeah, obviously I'll do Cam's first because that's what I got first. But as far as the details go, Brijin's project is 36 count bramble by Picture This Plus, stitched 1/2 with color and cotton patchwork, which looks like this. Ooh, how pretty. And this was a floss of the month earlier this year, and Brijin loved it so much that she bought like 5 more skeins of it, and she's using it for this project. So it looks super pretty. I'm curious to know how this is going to look on camera when I edit later, but it definitely is like a very soft gray purple, but I think on camera, since purple's so hard to photograph, it ends up looking more gray. But this is a beautiful combo. Okay, so I wrote down that I was going to talk haul and then plans, but I'm going to switch that because I'm the boss, so I can talk whatever I want. But anyway, these are my plans upcoming for the next 3 weeks. So this is the project that I mentioned briefly a second ago that I want to finish next. This is StitchCon 2022 by Hillis Designs. This was the StitchCon exclusive chart last year, and I started it in August of last year, and I still have not finished it, which is kind of embarrassing because it's not that big of a chart, but I've just been occupied with other things. So this is what mine looks like so far, and honestly, I can't remember when I would have showed this last, but I feel like these scissors are probably new to you guys, but yeah. I love this chart. I just feel like I struggle stitching it because there's so many, there's all these flosses for this small little chart, and you kind of have to change the flosses a lot, you know, for tiny little motifs like this, and so it's just a little bit cumbersome to work on, but I really just want to get it finished because I really do love it. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Picture This Plus vellum, and I'm stitching it 1/2. So I really should switch my needle minder to I have a StitchCon needle minder. That would be appropriate for this. But anyway, so my plan is for this to be my next finish. I don't have this chart in Pattern Keeper or anything, so I don't actually know how many total stitches it is, but I did go ahead and count how many stitches were left, and it was just over 1,000. So I definitely feel like I can get that done, if not in the next 3 weeks, definitely by the end of the year. So yeah, that's my plan there. Oh, let me put the chart back in there before I forget about it. And then I also am going to, I didn't bring it out to show, but I'll put a picture up of what it looks like. I'm planning to start a Christmas wreath by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and that, I'm either going to start it on Black Friday or the Friday after Thanksgiving, which would be, I think, the first Friday of December. So yeah, I'm planning on starting that soon. It would be really satisfying to get the StitchCon finished first, just because I kind of have this new idea in my head that I'm going to finish 3 things and then start, when I finish 3 things, I can start something else. And might as well get started on that now and get that rhythm going, you know? So anyway, okay, so that's kind of my plans, all my stitching that I've been doing. I did knit on my sock, but it was only a few rounds, so it really doesn't look that different from what I showed you in my last video. So we will save that for next time. And yeah, so I'm going to show you my haul now. It was just a couple things from my monthly clubs. The first one is my fabric of the month from Bestitch Me. I'm in the 36 count linen, And I just switched to the, I don't know if she calls it, I think it's called like every other month club or something. But basically you get a neutral fabric 1 month, and then the next you get a color fabric, and then it swaps back and forth. So this was the first time I got a color fabric, because I was just in the neutral only. And so this is my October fabric, and it is purple. It's called Nightshade. And I was honestly secretly hoping that it would be a purple fabric, so I was super excited when I got this in the mail last week. But yeah, it's very pretty, and it's definitely, obviously, just like we talked about a second ago, purple's a little difficult to kind of show the color on film, but yeah, it's super pretty. I kind of wish I had had this when I was designing my Meet Me at Midnight pattern, but that pattern ended up being perfect on the fabric that I found. So anyway, there's my fabric. And then for the Floss Club, I am in the Color and Cotton 3-skein All Colors Club, and this is what we got for November. And I really love these. They look just very like soft academia or something, but they have circus themed names. So it's Circus Ring, Trapeze, and Peanuts. So I think that's really sweet. They're very pretty. I really love those. I kind of want to find something to use all 3 of these together in. But anyway, so there's my floss and my fabric. Let's see. Let me gather my thoughts. So that's actually all the crafty things I have to talk about today. We're gonna move on to kind of like media and what I've been up to and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, anyway, if you're not interested in any of that, then here's your cue. But yeah, so I didn't bring my book over here, but I did finish Lessons in Chemistry and returned that back to the library. It was perfect. It totally wrapped everything up, which to me I find very satisfying. So definitely loved that. I want to watch the show, I think it's a show, not a movie, on Apple TV Plus that has Brie Larson in it. So it's kind of on my watch list currently. And then I did start reading Misery by Stephen King, and a lot of you recommended the movie when I'm done reading it and mentioned that Kathy Bates was in it, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes, she fits that role perfectly, because Annie Wilkes is scary. I'm not even very far into this book, like definitely less than 100 pages in, and like so many things are happening, and I'm just like so worried for Paul. He's the author, and Annie Wilkes is like his biggest fan, but she's like kind of weird and not in a very good way. And anyway, so it's getting very interesting, and I need to keep reading it, but I was very focused on my STITCHY projects, so I haven't really spent a lot of time reading, but it is really good, and I am very excited to keep reading and then watch the movie afterwards. And then as far as what I did watch Elemental. It was great. I watched Haunted Mansion, the new one that just came out this year, and I loved it so much that I watched it twice. Bobby and I had watched it one weekend, and then I rewatched it on Halloween because we didn't have any plans, and Bobby was working nights, and I just needed something fun to do, so I rewatched Haunted Mansion and stitched on Haunted Library on Halloween, so that was fun. And then I started watching Dahmer, the Netflix show about Jeffrey Dahmer, and I think I've only watched like 4 episodes, and it's definitely hard to watch, but it's also very interesting, and I'm kind of just like, I don't know, I just get so baffled by how they think and how they get away with stuff, and it just is a very interesting show. So if you're kind of interested in the whole like serial killer, how police handle things, any of that stuff, then maybe you should give it a try. But I will say that it is kind of difficult to watch just because some of the scenes are a little awkward and cringy, but I think that is kind of evident in maybe kind of how it really was when, I guess, like in the 80s and stuff, when he was doing a lot of his serial killing. So anyway, and then I think it was also kind of very interesting to watch Dahmer and then read Misery, because they're both very, like, dark, kind of sinister feeling, so, which also cracks me up because obviously I'm a very, like, happy-go-lucky kind of person, so the contrast there is very intense. So anyway, and yeah, I think other than that, I've just been watching some of my favorite Flosstubers, and I've been watching this girl play Stardew Valley, which is making me want to play Stardew Valley again. Haven't played that in a while, and I really like it. We actually got a new Pro controller, so I feel like that'd be fun to try to play that with the new controller we got. So far, we've only been using it with Zelda. But yeah, anyway, I think Bobby would be very happy for me to want to play Stardew Valley with him again, because he has asked me in the past few weeks if I want to play, and I'm like, like I'm not in the mood, but now I kind of am. Okay, so last up, I guess, is what I've been up to. Kind of already touched on that with what I've been reading and watching, but I've also been writing lots of thank you notes for my wedding gifts. We're almost done, so I think we might get the last batch in the mail this weekend. And then kind of just been, you know, getting back into the vibe at work. There was a costume contest on Halloween at work, and I won. I wore my Daphne costume that I think I wore in a Halloween episode on my channel a couple years ago, and that was fun. And today I'm gonna go see the Taylor Swift concert movie, finally. I hadn't made it to the theater to see that yet, so we're gonna go see that tonight, so I'm really excited to kind of relive my concert experience. I've got my Taylor Swift shirt on. You can't tell because I'm wearing my sweatshirt, and I put on some of my friendship bracelets. So yeah, that'll be really fun. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I have to talk about today. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to film every 3 weeks now, just because it'll give me more time to do stuff and be more relaxed. And yeah, so if you're not already subscribed, you should do that. That'd be cool. And I also have Instagram with the same name, Frizzy Lizzie Stitches. I definitely try to keep consistent with posting progress pictures and stuff I showed in my video over there. And I also have a buy me a coffee if you feel so inclined. Any coffees that you buy me will be put towards other stitchy things so that I can have more content to share with you all. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today, and yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, night, evening, week, wherever you are, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!